everybody, how's it going? It's the Daily Shooter, and today I want to answer a question that I've been getting in my emails a lot. I've gotten dozens of emails just on this specific topic, and I figure it would be good to make a bulk video and try and answer all of them. I do my best to get back to emails and help people out when I can. I know people think I have a lot of connections in the industry and that I could talk to manufacturers and things like that. I really can't. I'm not a Garantham, I'm not a Mr. Guns of Gear, a military arms channel. I just don't have those connections. I do talk to people from different online retailers and things like that, but really I don't have too many industry connections like everybody thinks I do. Regardless, for those people that I do know how to get in contact with, I'll always try and help people out when I can. If you're one of the people that's emailed me this question, you know exactly what I'm talking about, and that is, where's my order? This is a big one. So people will write me and they'll say something along these lines. I know you don't work for Optics Planet. I know you don't work for Aero Precision. I know you don't work for Palmetto or whatever the case is. But I put in an order like 2 months ago for A, B, or C optic or part, and it still hasn't shown up, and they're not even showing it shipped over on the Optics Planet's or Palmetto State Armory's website. Do you have anybody that you could talk to find out what's going on? And, well, the answer is sometimes I do have somebody I could talk to, but the truth of the matter is they're probably going to give me the same answer that you're getting. It hasn't shipped yet because they don't have it. So I want to talk to you guys today about why everything is so backed up. I'm sure you can answer some of these on your own, but there are some things that are leading to big delays in people's orders, from everything from body armor to optics to parts. I mean, you name it, there are things that are back ordered ridiculous. For instance, back in, I think it was March, it's now August. Back in March, I put in an order for a Holosun IR laser over at Optics Planet, and it still hasn't shipped yet. It still hasn't shipped. I mean, we're talking about March, it's now August, and it still hasn't shipped. It's because they don't have it. So let's talk about why they don't have it. Okay, so out of the manufacturers and retailers that I do have some contact with, I'm getting pretty much the same story from everybody. They are seeing a massive influx of orders. So one of the reasons is they're just trying to keep up with the pace of everything that's going on. And that goes across the board for magazines, for parts, you know, uppers, lowers, handguards, things like that, to optics, you name it, muzzle devices. Just about everything across the board is just flying off the shelves, and nobody can keep up with the demand. I mean, the amount of production time that a lot of these companies are putting in to get these parts out, we're talking hiring extra employees and running machine shops around the clock and still not being able to keep up with the demand of distributors and online retailers that are just selling these things out the second that they come in. So you're seeing that not only when you go into your local FFL is there a lot of stuff that's missing from the wall, a lot of the stuff that you'd want to go in there and buy, and a lot of the ammo and stuff that would be behind the counter, you know, a lot of that stuff has gone across the board, but it's not just that stuff. It's just about everything else that manufacturing is having a hard time keeping up with. But the other part to that is when this whole pandemic hit, okay, and things shut down, they shut down all over the world, right? That means that manufacturing shut down all over the world. So if you have people like Holosun, or you have people like Vortex or other companies that have these massive orders for some of the parts that they use or some of the components that they use in, let's say, a red dot or something. Maybe 90% of the red dot is made here in the US, but there's an LED or a small circuit board or something like that that was made in China. Or maybe there is a great scope that you love, but the glass was made in Japan. Japan has excellent glass for scopes. I mean, they just, hands down, some of the best glass. And so they get their glass from Japan. Now they don't have their glass. Now they don't have their LEDs. Now they don't have the different components that they need to finish the 10% that comes from overseas. So that was backed up. Now, when these places restarted, because we know that things are starting to open up, people are getting back to work and stuff like that, when they reopened with a backlog of orders at these manufacturers. And so trying to get all of the different components ready on their end is even more difficult because they're filling the back orders that came before everything closed still. And so they're trying to catch up as well before they can even get to the orders that are being put in now. So you could see that everything's backed up. Plus another thing that I was hearing, this is a complaint that I'm getting from, again, online retailers and distributors, things like that, is that the ports of entry for the US, Customs was holding stuff. And we're talking like 4 or 5 months holds on certain things that still haven't made it into the country. So you may get some components that are used for the piece that you're waiting for, and those components have to go through customs if they're coming from overseas. Customs is hanging on to them for, I don't know, let's say 2 or 3 months, right? And then customs is releasing them to where they have to then be shipped to the manufacturer so that the manufacturer can then install those components on whatever device it is and then ship it out to the distributor or the retailer. So there are so many factors right now that are leading into back orders that it's just ridiculous. I mean, I'm trying to find an upper right now. I think it's back ordered like 4 months, and it's an upper. It's a complete upper. I'm trying to do a build for my wife, and we're going to do a build to show, you know, a kind of a woman's gun, you know, woman's perspective, things like that, where you can try and get it, you know, your wife or your girlfriend into shooting. And so I want to build that, but just the upper is backed up 4 months. And it's because of things like that, you know. There are just so many manufacturing delays right now. And even though, again, you know, if I show you guys an Aero Precision upper, or if I show you guys, you know, specific things, again, I buy a majority of what I get on this channel. You know, I do get a lot of stuff from Optics Planet. We have a pretty good relationship where we can work things out, and, you know, in exchange for a video and letting you guys know that I got it from Optics Planet, they'll send something out to me that I can review. But people will see that, they'll go over there, they'll buy something. Maybe they want that 6.5 Creedmoor upper that I just reviewed, right? So they'll go over to Optics Planet, they'll put an order in for it, and you know, it'll be back ordered months. And I mean, that's not for everything, but for some things. And so it's one of those things where I'm getting a lot of people that will say, hey, I watched your video on this, I watched your video on that, or you know, whatever it was that I was reviewing. And I put an order in for it back in May, and now it's August, and I still haven't, you know, got a shipping confirmation yet. Well, that's pretty much why. Everything is so behind right now that across the board, again, even body armor, to, you know, because you have to think of raw materials, right? So you have raw materials that are used for body armor and different materials that are used in body armor and for the spall protection and coating. Each one of those comes from a different place in a different state that might have different rules. Some places have opened, some places haven't. Some places are running short staff just to keep social distancing in place. And so you might have one person working at one station where there used to be somebody standing right next to him assembling something else in another station, and then that person has to be moved 6 feet away, and so they have half the employees working now trying to keep up with double orders. Add to the fact that there's so many new people out there buying things and getting things together, the demand is out of control right now. So the best thing that you can do at this point is just be patient. I know that people are working round the clock, people are trying their best. Obviously, everybody wants to make money, right? So they want to be able to sell you this thing so that maybe you'll get on to the next thing. And, you know, if you like that optic, maybe you want to buy a handguard or something. So everybody wants to make money, so people want to have things in stock. If there's nothing in stock, there's nothing they could sell you, and that goes against their business practice, which is selling people things. I mean, that's what they're in business to do, sell you things that you want. And so they're going to lose out on money. Everybody's just... It's really, really tough. The only people right now that I think are probably making money are the manufacturers themselves that actually send it out to the distributors, because they're just shipping things out left and right. But that's pretty much how it's going across the board, even for ammunition right now. I know these places are working around the clock trying to get out all this ammo, but the demand is just absolutely ridiculous. So if you put in an order somewhere and you're wondering why it's taking a month or 2 months to actually get it shipped out, that's why. Port of entry, lack of employees, social distancing, shutdowns, you know, all that stuff is just basically putting a slowdown on our industry and our hobby and our Second Amendment rights. So for those people that are asking, that's pretty much what's going on. I would just try and be patient. It's your order's going to come. I've talked to everybody. They said as soon as we get them, the orders come out, and they go out as fast as possible. So just like I'm doing, waiting for that Holosun. As a matter of fact, I even ordered an ARAK, an upper, ARAK upper, and that one is, I think that one was ordered in April, and that one still hasn't shipped either yet. So it just kind of depends how much you want it. But you know, instead of backing out and, you know, reordering it again, where you're going to have to wait 4 more months, I would just be patient, hang on, it'll come out. Otherwise, I don't know, save your money. So I just want to let you guys know what's going on kind of in bulk format. But hopefully things will get back to normal soon. I want to thank you all very much for watching. I really do appreciate it. Please like, subscribe. Have a great day.